Hey gang, Chase here, and today I want to talk about shooting music festivals. In the past year, I've been fortunate enough to work with some very talented teams. Along with some crazy stories, I've picked up some tips that may be helpful should you find yourself behind the lens at one. There's a lot of common sense, but some really good stuff to consider too, so let's get started. So you've nabbed your first festival shooter gig. You'll likely need to plan for a tent camping situation, so discussing a secure place to store and charge your gear for the duration will be of utmost importance. In most cases, the festival is going to have at least an office that the staff is willing to let you use. It will likely be shared with the staff, so there's going to be a lot of people coming and going. So a combo lock will ensure your cases stay shut when you're not there, and a bike lock will ensure that those cases stay where they are. It's also a good idea to bring extra batteries because you never know when you're going to have access to that office. Your producer will typically lock down walkie-talkies for you and your team. Every fest I've worked has been in a rural area with little to no cell phone service, so walkies are the only way to coordinate with your team, as well as staying abreast of any announcements from the staff of the festival that may warrant shooting. If the fest cannot provide walkies, most cities have a facility that rents them, and they are definitely worth the investment. And if you can, get some of the earpieces so you can actually hear announcements when you're recording loud shows. The client will undoubtedly have specific events that they want covered, so try to acquire a schedule of events and plan best for that coverage. Just don't forget to give yourself time to rest. Music fests have been the most rewarding but exhausting events I've ever covered. Workshops usually start in the morning and the music lasts until sunrise the next day. It's not uncommon for the pros on site to go the entirety of the fest with just a few hours of sleep. So take care of yourself. I always bring earplugs with me to help drown out live shows that may still be going on when I end my night. But earplugs are also a big benefit while you're shooting, because it's no mystery that the high decibel levels at these concerts can do some serious damage to your ears, and you're likely to be covering one after the other. And lastly, I've gotten rained on at about half of my festivals, so I always have a rain poncho handy for my gear, just in case. Now, I have been guilty of getting so swept up in music coverage at festivals that I forget there's a lot more to capture than just the performances. Be sure to set some time aside to capture all the other events that make up the atmosphere of the fest. There's usually a lot of art taking place. Painting, glass blowing, interesting installations, and much more can make for interactive and engaging content. And in many cases, the art and the music mix together. Each festival usually has iconic landmarks or scenery that play a big role in the atmosphere you're trying to capture. It never hurts to explore as much of the property as you can, because you never know when you'll happen upon fest goers in an interesting spot off the beaten path. There will be workshops that encourage festival goers to come together and participate in crafts, classes, or activities. These are also great places to catch interactions and smiles. Festivals usually bring other types of professional performers as well. I have seen aerialists, fire spinners, all sorts of dancers, and even an onstage landscapist. I like to introduce myself to the director of these performance troupes because they'll usually clue you into their schedule and any cool things that they have planned. Typically, festival goers themselves will be doing their own little performances. Hooping, poi, juggling, and more are all a big part of the festival experience for a lot of people. Just remember when you're covering the atmosphere to avoid shot killers. Garbage cans, porta potties, cars, and fences. And now, the music. First off, many common sense rules apply when you're shooting a musical performance. Don't get any other shooters in your shot. Dress in all black so you don't stand out to the performers or anyone else. Try to work together and take turns so there's only one shooter and one photographer on stage at a time. Unless you're doing a highlight reel, don't cut in the middle of a song. Be aware of your surroundings so you don't trip because stages can be dark and foggy. Build sequences by capturing cutaways of instruments, crowd reactions, wides, close-ups. These things should be second nature to any experienced filmmaker, which will leave you free to focus on what I consider the most important part of shooting music, working with the lights. It's really just a matter of timing good lighting and good action to capture your perfect moment. But you can introduce yourself to the stage's lighting technician, and sometimes they're open to collaborating with you to help make your shots look better. You'll likely find them at front of house, which is the space facing the stage that has been blocked off for all the stage and sound techs to monitor the show. Now typically, the light is going to be focused on the artist, which means your audience will be in the dark. So you can ask the lighting tech that one or two songs have some light on the audience so you can get your crowd shots. Just be sure to keep an eye out for your own shadow because it tends to pop up and can be hard to notice when there's a bunch of flashes going off everywhere. I do not like it when lights on stage are a single color, all blue, all red, or all green. It washes out so much detail and just does not look nice at all. So you may ask the lighting tech to add a little more variety to the lighting. Many of the stage lights are going to have flicker issues that can be helped or corrected by slightly adjusting your shutter, so be on the lookout for those. Now when you're on stage, be mindful that the lights themselves actually move, a lot. I can't tell you how many times I've been set next to a light on the ground and I wasn't paying attention and the thing just turned right into me. Luckily no harm's been done, but I'm certainly on the lookout now. Other elements utilized during live performances can wreak havoc on your gear or yourself. I've been warned that the lasers used in some shows can fry your camera sensor if it hits your lens just right, so avoid pointing your camera in that path. Also be aware of any pyro or smoke plans for the show you're shooting as well. Now I've also been warned that even confetti can get into the nooks and crannies of your gear and do some serious damage. So you should have gotten your press credentials when you first arrived so you have access to the pit, backstage, and onstage. I've noticed that at larger festivals with bigger artists, they usually want you to spend the first 15 minutes of the performance in the pit getting coverage, but afterwards you're expected to leave so you do not distract the artist anymore. There are two people you have to speak with when covering bigger artists. The stage manager, who's going to allow you access to the stage during the performance, and the artist's tour manager, who's going to give you the go-ahead to shoot the artist and any rules that apply when shooting that artist. Do your best to speak with them well before the show starts because they do not appreciate being approached during the performance. But for smaller stages and smaller artists, you're kind of free to do whatever you want within reason. Most artists just love the exposure. Still, try to make any shot that requires you to be exposed to them or the audience quick. Just get in and out. And lastly, your editor will love you forever if you remember to switch your time code to the correct time of day. With all the performances being covered over the course of several days, this will be a helpful reference point for them when it comes to finding specific shots or artists for specific edits. And there you have it. Music festivals are very exhausting, but they're a very fun and rewarding experience as well. I hope my experiences have given you a better idea of what to expect if you ever find yourself shooting one. Thank you for watching. Be sure to subscribe to the B&H YouTube channel for more tips and tutorials.